Okay, we're gonna learn the last subtopic of chapter 7, 7.3, Solubility Equilibria. So, maknanya nanti kita dah habis dah for chemistry semester 1. But then, sebenarnya ada lagi certain page kan. Okay, so I'm just gonna go straight to the content lah. Okay, so we're talking about solubility. So, what is solubility? Okay, so contohnya I'm just gonna draw at the side here. So, kita belajar pada chapter 1, we have our solute kan. So, contohnya we have our solute usually boleh jadi in solid or concentrated liquid lah kan. Concentrated solution, and then we're gonna dissolve it in solvent. So, when kita when we mix this solute and solvent, what we have, we will form a solution. So, solubility ni is, kita akan tengok lah the amount actually. Solubility tu, we're gonna look at the amount of solute that has been dissolved. So, macam mana kita nak tahu? Kita kena tengok lah how much of it is present in your solution. Okay. So, kita tengok dekat sini. We have two definition. So, solubility dalam kes ni is gram per liter is the quantity of solute which is in gram that dissolve in 1 liter of saturated solution. So, this is the case when we count our solute ni is in gram. So, lagi satu is the same one, but then it's molar solubility. The unit is mole per liter, or is the same as our ni lah, molarity. Is the number of mole of solute per liter at the saturated solution in the saturated solution itself. So, kalau solubility, kita kira solute ni in terms of gram. The molar solubility ni kita count dia in terms of mole. Okay. But, okay, so for the example itself, mostly we're gonna look at, even though they ask you kata calculate the solubility, actually what they want is actually our molar solubility. Where the unit is M, capital M. Unless the question stated so that it want the solubility in gram per liter. So, kita kena cari itulah. But mostly when the question asks for solubility, we're going to be talking about this one, where the unit is molarity. Okay, and then dia kata, in a saturated solution, an equilibrium exists between the solid salt and its dissolved ion. Okay, so contohnya, I have my, I have my silver chloride. So, contohnya, Miss ada silver chloride, Miss kan? So, when it's dissolving, so when we dissolve in water, what we're going to form adalah AgCl solution. So, when it's AgCl, what we have is Ag plus our silver dengan Cl ion. So, when it's actually in a saturated solution, the concentration of, the concentration of our silver dengan Cl minus is maximum. So, when the concentration is constant, so barulah kita akan kata, so when the concentration is constant, kita akan kata it's actually in equilibrium with solid. Sebab solid pun concentration dia pun remain constant. The concentration for the solid and liquid, the concentration kita akan consider it as constant. That's why dalam K kita tak akan ambil solid, tak akan ambil liquid, because the concentration dia constant. Banyak kali mention benda tu, whatever lah. But then, so sebab itulah in a saturated solution, when the AgCl solid, concentration constant, Ag plus ni akan concentration dia constant. The same goes for Cl minus ni, concentration dia pun akan constant. So that's why lah dia in equilibrium. Dia bukannya interchangeable. Contohnya kalau kamu buat solution ni kan, tiba-tiba je dia dah solution, tiba-tiba boleh dapat solid balik. It's not. It's just that kita kata dia in equilibrium because all the concentration here semua ni constant sahaja. So that's why lah. Okay, next we're gonna learn is actually how to write the equilibrium constant, which dalam kes ni we will call it as KSP. Ya, Miss padam jap. Okay. So dekat sini lah yang dia kata equilibrium exists between solid salt and ion saturated solution. Okay, and then we're gonna learn how to write down the solubility product, which is KSP. So sebelum ni kita ada belajar apa? KP, KC, KA, KB lagi. Ada satu which is tak banyak pun kita belajar, KW. Okay, so dalam kes ni kita belajar KSP, which is S stands for solubility, P stands for product. Again, kita akan consider aqueous. Gas kita tak belajar dah sebab dalam case ni tak ada gas. So, we're gonna talk about aqueous lah. But we do not want solid. We do not want our liquid. Okay. So, how to write it down? So, for example, I have, here is my AgCl. So, AgCl, when we write down the equilibrium, the equilibrium equation kan. So we have here. So how to write KSP? Remember, we don't want our solid. So dia adalah product over reactant. But the reactant is not considered. Okay, lepas tu make sure it's balanced. So here 1, 1, 1. So how to write it down? So my KSP here would be Ag plus and Cl minus. Okay, next one is our Ag2CrO4. Okay, yang ini, so contohnya in exam ataupun in question, tidak ada, it's not given to you lah. You should know it yourself. So, macam mana? How do I know here? So, Ag2, our silver, dia adalah selalunya Ag plus. So, kenapa dia ada dua ni? It's actually 2 ni because when the anion ni sebenarnya yang ada 2 minus. So that's why our silver is Ag2. So when you write down the equation adalah Ag plus CrO4 2 minus. But then check, is it balanced or not? So silver kita yang tak balance, CrO4 kita dah balance. So 2 Ag plus CrO4 2 minus. So how we gonna write it down? Ag plus, it's to the power of 2. Then CrO4 2 minus. It's mesti ada square bracket because we're talking about molar solubility, which is our concentration. Okay, next, MgF2. MgF2 solid in equilibrium with Mg. Okay, magnesium 2 plus aqueous tambah fluorine. Fluorine minus aqueous. Okay, so then when we check, it's not yet balanced. Magnesium ada 1, okay. Fluorine ada 2. Here it only got 1. So I'm just gonna write down here. So how to write it down? It's Mg 2 plus dengan F minus to the power of 2. Ini relate balik Ka, Kb, Kc, Kp kita. Last but not least is Ca3PO4 2. So, dia adalah Ca3PO4 2 solid. It's actually in equilibrium. So, this is our calcium. So, calcium Ca2 plus. Ca2 plus equals plus dengan PO4. So, macam mana kita nak tahu? Okay, so we know here Ca ni 3, PO4 ni 2. So, maknanya it means that sebenarnya it consists of Ca2 plus. Zat 2 ni yang couple dekat sini kan. So, PO4 ni dia adalah 3 minus. PO4 here 3 minus. Tapi, when we check, it's not balanced. Calcium ada 3, here only got 1. So, here I'm just going to write down it's 3. And then, here PO4 3 minus. Kena write down the phase as well. Is in equals. So, PO4 ada, semua ni it's 2 lah. Kalau to the power of 2, maknanya semua ni ada 2. Sebab ada in bracket that, lepas tu dia buat subscript 2. So, here at the front dia 2 juga. So, how we gonna write it down? So, KSP adalah Ca2 plus to the power of 3. PO4 2 minus to the here 3 minus here to the power of 2. Okay. So next you should try yourself. For example 1 until 6. Senang pula soalan ni. Okay, but then make sure all the equation is balanced. Then you should write your KSP. Remember again sama macam Ka, Kb, Kc, Kp. Kita consider aqueous dengan gas. Tapi mostly chapter 7 ni kita banyak mostly talking about solution kan. So gas tak adalah. So we're gonna consider only aqueous in our case. Solid dengan liquid tak nak. Okay. Okay, so let's look at question 1 where we have our molar solubility here and they ask for KSP. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the equation. Okay, so make sure you write down the phase and make sure that it's balanced. Okay, so sekarang ni how we going to find out? Make sure how to find our KSP? Should we do our ice table or not? So contohnya kan, kalau Miss buat je lah ice, okay, and then unit dia adalah molarity. So kalau solid dia akan it's not considered. Okay, but then yang sekarang ni beza dia, change tu kita akan ambil S which stands for solubility. So here I'm just gonna write down S dengan S. Okay, so sebab tu instead of ice table kita hanya akan ambil S tu sahaja. Okay, solid tak akan consider, produk initial dia 0. Okay, so kita akan ambil dia punya equilibrium which is S sahajalah. Okay, and then I'm just going to copy paste here. But then, it's supposed to be 2S but kena ikut our coefficient. Okay, so then I'm just going to take the value. So kalau 2, we're just going to multiply it. Okay, so here I'm just going to write down, masukkan dalam formula. KSP is what? Dia adalah to the power of 2 juga. Sebab based on coefficient. So next, I'm just going to substitute all the values. Okay, and then we get the final answer. Again, equilibrium constant, have no unit. Okay, this question pula, dia bagi KSP, dia minta molar solubility. So I'm just going to label this is my KSP. Okay, so I'm just going to write down the equation for our salt ni lah. For our solid ni. Okay, if you're not sure about SR, okay, CO3 adalah 2 minus. And then as we can see, it's 1 to 1. So dekat sini, charge dia pun maksud dia sama lah. So here is 2 plus. Okay, and then I'm just going to write down. Okay, dia adalah sini adalah S. Both of it is S sebab dia ada 1 to 1. Then I'm just going to write down the KSP is equal to what? Okay, KSP is equal to S dan S. Oh, KSP actually we have the value. So I'm just going to write down 1.1 exponent negative 10. Okay, so lepas tu kita akan dapatlah S squared is this value and S is this answer. Make sure molar solubility dah ada unit lah. Tapi KSP no unit. For S kita tu is actually it has its own unit which is capital M. Okay, question 3, question 4, I believe you can do it yourself. Cumanya question 5, betulkan jawapan kamu. Yang itu masalah betul. Yang 3, ada question lain tu just ubah sikit-sikit je. Next, we're going to look at question 7. So, ini lain sikit. Dia minta solubility, gram per liter as well as molar solubility. So, molar solubility ni yang kita selalu carilah, which is our S, which is the unit is M. So here I'm just gonna write down the equation. Solid tu dissociate, dia jadi calcium dengan PO4 3 minus equals. So how do I know the charge? Is from the formula itself lah. Then I make sure I balance the equation. So sebab tu jadi 3S dan 2S. Next I'm just gonna write down my KSP, which is 1.2 exponent negative 26. Okay, so Ca2 plus dia punya change rate adalah 3S. Lepas tu kita kena cubekan dia. The same goes for PO4 3 2 minus PO4 3 minus 2. So I'm just gonna expand dulu one by one. Lepas tu multiplykan both. Dan I get 105 105 S to the power of 5. Okay, so yang ini Miss buat one by one. So what is, so S5 is equal to what? Hence I will get my S. So S ni apa value dia sebenarnya? What is S? Is it solubility gram per molar, gram per liter ke molar solubility? So I'm just gonna label S ni is actually our molar solubility. So unit dia adalah capital M. Okay, but then question ada minta lagi satu lagi. So how are we going to find out solubility if it's gram per liter? So I'm just going to write down solubility. The unit dia adalah gram per liter. So how we're going to find out? Kita akan cari from our molar solubility times dengan molar mass. So molar solubility ni, okay, molar solubility ni unit adalah mol per liter. Molar mass adalah gram per mol. So when I cancel out the mol-mol, barulah misalkan dapat unit gram per liter the same as the unit of solubility yang kita nak. Okay, so molar solubility is the one that we have found from previous step. Molar mass, I'm just going to write down at the side here for Ca3PO4. PO4 ni semua ni kita subscriptkan tu lah. Maknanya ada 2. So 2 of my phosphorus and I have 8 of my oxygen. So I get 310.3 gram per mol. Okay, so sekarang ni I will get my solubility which is in gram per liter. Okay, so yang ini.